Hello and welcome to the Water Adventure Park in Oahu, Hawaii for the first event in the IFSA Super Series World Championship of 2003. We've got together all of the top guys in Strongman, including last year's world champion Hugo Girard from Canada. He's here to defend his title, but he's up against it. Mariusz Pudzianowski from Poland, world's strongest man. He's yet to win that world championship belt, and he'll be pushing hard. Of course, all the other guys as well. Svend, Karlsen. We've got the guys from the Baltic states, Bergmanis, Zydrunas, Savickas. And indeed, quite a few wild cards from America, the likes of Carl Gillingham. He's a very good athlete. And Odd Haugen as well, now 53 years old, former American football player. Indeed, he was in 1970 Mr. Norway in bodybuilding. So what a talent. You can see there 14 athletes in the field. Jaroslav Dimik of Poland, another great name. And to be honest, living in the shadow of Mariusz Pudzianowski, but still in the top 5 in the world, definitely a favorite for this event. And the first discipline in this opening competition is the Apollon's axle lift. Very much like a clean and jerk in the Olympic Games, but you can see the thickness of the bar there, and who better to test it than the man who's been silver medalist at the European Weightlifting Championships from Latvia, Bergmanis. Now, this opening weight, only 150 kilos. He's clean and jerk 245 at the Olympic Games, and you see how hard just 150 kilos is really not more than 60% of what he can do in normal weightlifting competitions, yet the thickness, some 2 inches thick, the bar, that's causing all the problems. Zydrunas Savickas from Lithuania, 150 kilos should be easy. Now he's using a slightly different technique here, this known as the European clean, where you rest it on your belly and then flick it up again. Good lift. Dr. Douglas Edmonds, as ever, the godfather of Strongman in the background, in the black hat there, refereeing him alongside Jamie Reeves, world's strongest man. They are the head referees for the IFSA Super Series World Championship. Of course, the Super Series World Championship now head-to-head with the world's strongest man as the main title to be won in Strongman. And this man, well, he's won a world's strongest man title in Malaysia, but he has yet to win a world championship belt that Hugo Girard and Magnus Samuelsson have won. And I tell you what, in this kind of form, he's going to struggle. This, only 150 kilos, and how awkward he is making it.
35.
So the world's strongest man from Malaysia of 2002, making very hard work of this. If he can just get it to his chest, you know those huge triceps will press it up. Come on, Mariusz, time's running out. Crushing down on his windpipe there. And that iron mine bar, 2 inches thick, causing all kinds of problems for the man they call the Dominator. Certainly not dominating this event. So 160 kilos goes on to the iron mine bar. And out comes Bergmanis once again. I mean, let's look at the history of this man. 3 times at the Olympic Games, he's carried the flag into the stadium of the Olympic Games at Barcelona for his country. And, well, what an incredible honor. You understand why in his home country and in his home city of Riga, he really is a superstar. Well, he's trying to do it like a normal Olympic lifting clean, and you see there, it just comes out of his grip. And his hands are like a bunch of bananas. They are absolutely enormous. Long fingers and hands, and even he can't get his hands around it. Now, Svend, watch this. He's invented his own technique. He does a kind of European clean, double movement. And look at that, easy for Svend. Easy enough. Now remember, he is the world record holder in this event. He's done 170 kilos here in Hawaii last year, so he's got to be the favorite for the opening event. But Zydrunas Savickas, well, he's so big, he's got his own gravity. Look at the size of the man, 160 kilos in body weight. Has he got the pressing power? And remember, this is actually only body weight lifting. This is 160 kilos. Easily done. Those huge triceps, pressing it out. And that brings out Hugo Girard. Now, Hugo Girard saw Svend Karlsen take away the log lift world record up to 185 kilos in Stockholm. He also saw the Apollon's axle go to 170 kilos. It must be painful for Hugo to see, but he's done 160. And the bar gets loaded to 165, and it has to be said, Hugo did lift that easier than anyone. And Hugo, so often talked about as the best presser, but let's face it, Svend Karlsen's the man with the world records, and here he is at 165. Can he get it? Opening man at 165. It's a good lift. Excellent by the Viking.
This is good.
Svend Karlsen, you seem very strong.
I'm very worried about my back, but I don't feel any pain yet, so I feel very strong at least, so feels good.
As the first event of 2003 Super Series in Hawaii, are you tactically thinking how you will disposition your 6 events today?
I will try to do my best, and coming from a back injury yesterday, I just have to work it event by event and see what happens.
165 kilos, 363 pounds. So the bar finally heavier than the man lifting it himself. What a giant of a man. Zydrunas Savickas from near Vilnius in Lithuania. Former IPF silver medalist in powerlifting. Squat, his main discipline there, really was one of the best in squat the world has ever seen. But he's got it to his chest. Can he press it out to join Svend Karlsen? The feet are aligned. Yes, he gets the white flag from Dr. Edmonds. Great lifting there from the big Lithuanian. Now Hugo Girard, pressure is on. Several times I've seen him in competition, such as in Malaysia, when no one else was really around him. He was so much better than the others. But now he's under pressure. What can he produce when he's up against it? Well, there you go. There's your answer. Hugo Girard, I'd say that was the easiest. He's a little out of breath. As you would imagine, it's very hard work, crushing down on your windpipe. But 170, it's going to be very tough. And the first man out, Zydrunas Savickas. Svend Karlsen has passed it this way. That is the big news. Sven's gambling on 175. So it's just Savickas and Girard at 170. This to equal the world record. It's good. So the world record, the leaderboard, has been joined alongside Svend Karlsen with Zydrunas Savickas. Congratulations to him. For these guys, sure, they're professional. It's a lot about the money, but I tell you what, it's more about putting your name down in history. And Girard, how about that? We got 3 men. Oh, this is really heating up. And don't forget, Svend Karlsen has gambled. He's gone for 175. This is a world record. 385 pounds. Svend, the lightest of the 3 men left in the competition, about 143 kilos in body weight. Oh, that looks really heavy. I tell you what, I think he'd be lucky to get away without an injury there. Well, how badly has he hurt himself? Has he just winded? Has he torn some pectoral muscle? Well, he's full of adrenaline. It's very hard to say at this point. I guess we'll find out after the event, but I'd be shocked if he can get it up now. No, it's not going to happen today. But Svend, he's such an incredible competitor. This is how you get to the top in your sport. It's the never give up attitude. Come on, Svend Karlsen. This is why he's been world's strongest man. This is why he wants that world championship belt. Well, Svend Karlsen, not quite sure what he's saying in Norwegian there, but I'm guessing he's not very happy. And that brings out 175 kilos for the world record, Zydrunas Savickas of Lithuania. So he's just seen his name go alongside Svend Karlsen in the record books. This to take the out-and-out record for himself in one of the most historical events in Strongman. But he's missed it first attempt. Can he get his legs into it? You hear the crowd shouting, use your legs. But no, he knows when he's beaten. He knows when he's beaten, and that leaves Hugo Girard as the only man left in the competition. His 170 attempt looked very comfortable. This will be interesting. This will be more than interesting. This will be sensational if he takes it. It'll be Hugo's first overhead world record, and I tell you what, not a minute too late either. Come on, Hugo Girard, the former policeman. He's gambled on going full-time in Strongman, and I tell you what, it's paid off. He's got a world record to his name. Apollin's axle is all Hugo Girard's, 175 kilo.
A new world record, Hugo Girard. You know, I wasn't expecting it to do that, but like I always say, it's not over until the fat lady sing, and it's really far from being over.
Well, that was something else. What a display, mind over matter. This event been going on since the 19th century with Louis Cyr, the great Canadian, and Apollin, all lifting these Apollin's axles. And Hugo Girard, he's taken that world record back to Canada.
You start this year with a world record in Apollin axle. Did you expect that?
Not really, to tell you the truth. You know, at 150, actually at 140, I had a hard time. My shoulder, I heard some kind of weird noise there, and I seriously thought about leaving that event. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going, one more lift, and then one more lift, and finally I end up winning the event. It's totally unexpected.
How much did you surpass your best result from before?
For me, with that kind of bar, it's the first time ever, so it's not bad. You know, first time with that bar, world record. You know, I can ask for more.
You really can't. That was outstanding from Hugo Girard. And looks like the man who's got the World Championship belt from last year has put himself right at the top once again. First event goes to Hugo Girard here at the Water Adventure Park in Oahu, Hawaii. And now we move on to the Super Yoke. 365 kilos on their backs. And the IFSA Super Series World Championship is really heating up in its first destination here in Hawaii. All of the best guys in the world are here, all competing for that World Championship belt. And of course, after Hawaii, they then move on to Holland, Zvolta in the Netherlands. From there, they go on to Canada, North Bay, a competition Hugo Girard's helping organize, and then on to Finland. Vanta in Finland, right on the Russian border. And then the final destination, and I am so excited about this. We go on to America, Columbus, Ohio for the Arnold Classic. On with the action then, enough about that. And it's Mariusz Pudzianowski, and he's racing against Mykola Melnikov of the Ukraine. And these guys from the Baltic states really have some incredible power. There's Melnikov on the right, Pudzianowski on the left, and well, that's a pretty tough call in your first serious competition to go against the man who's got the world's strongest man title. And look at this, 365 kilos, made to look like absolutely nothing. Near 16 seconds in the time. That's outstanding from Pudzianowski, and poor old Melnikov showing just how hard it is for the normal strongman. Believe you me, he's still elite level, but I guess the height thing probably a little bit of a problem. Now 365 kilos, that's nearly 800 pounds in weight.
A fantastic race, Mariusz.
16 seconds is good time. Today is I'm tired. Zakaron.
You are dizzy, but I believe this will be the time to beat for the rest of the field. Congratulations on a good race.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks to our interviewer, legendary bodybuilder Ulf Benson from Sweden, now promoter and of course head of world-class gyms, very famous throughout Europe. And He's really taking a fundamental role in the whole of Strongman now. And man on the right then, Raymonsberg, man, don't you love this guy? Look at him using no belt. Looks like he's in his holiday shorts. It's outrageous. You just can't appreciate how heavy this is unless you've tried it. The world record, of course, 9.9 seconds. That's done by Svend Karlsen. But on these grassy conditions in this heat, 15.76 seconds from Bergmanis is outstanding. Carl Gillingham there, very good strongman from America. He's a part of what's known in America as the first family of strength. His father, a former Green Bay Packer and Hall of Famer in American football. His brother, an IPF world champion in powerlifting. But more about that later as we're on with Vasyl Vereshchuk of the Ukraine on the left up against Svend Karlsen on the right. And this man from the Ukraine is what I was talking about, this new wave of strongmen from the Baltic states. Look at the size of his legs. Unbelievable. 33 inches round, enormous power. Look at that. 16.71, and it would have been so much faster had he not dropped it. As for the world record holder Svend Karlsen, I tell you what, that chest injury, well, I said it was adrenaline that got him to lift it again, and I think he's done something fairly major there. I think it's a pec tear or at least some cartilage break in the center of his rib cage. Something severe has gone wrong. Zydrunas Savickas of Lithuania up against the man from Quebec, the world champion Hugo Girard, the man in the lead after the first event. The giant Canadian, almost unbeatable in these one-day events. He really is outstanding. Never done it at the world's strongest man, however. The 2-week-long events really drain him of his strength. This is a very good display so far. To be ahead of Savickas at this stage is great. It's going to be close, 15 seconds. That's the time they want to be around. 15.17 seconds for Hugo Girard. That's faster than Bergmanis' 15.7. Savickas, 16.35. That puts him into fourth, just behind Pudzianowski.
Hugo Girard, you seem like you're hard to beat in the yoke race as well.
No, it seems I'm on the roll. I had a lot of pressure because today I had to watch the other guy go first. They did great time.
Do you think you can keep this good shape for the whole year 2003? Are you having a peak right now?
You know what? I don't think I'm at my best right now. Obviously, I still can improve. I'm probably in the best shape I can be at this time of the year. But there's a lot of stuff that I can work on, and it's a good sign.
Well, if he's not at his peak form, it's going to be scary when he gets to it, because Hugo Girard, 2 out of 2 events, maximum 14 there for the super yoke, and of course 14 for the Apollon's axle as well. So 2 disciplines down, and he's comfortably in the lead. Svend Karlsen, Savickas, all chasing. I tell you what, Pudzianowski's right off the pace, really struggling. On to the deadlift. This is the Mondo deadlift, using the Iron Mind bar once again, kindly donated by Randy Strossen. 275 kilos, 600 pounds, just over. See there the rep counter in the bottom right of your screen, and the time counting down. Jarek Dymek, not the tallest of athletes, only about 5'10". Always helps in these kind of events. Long arms, not too tall. That's the ultimate for deadlifting. Of course, you don't have to pull it so far, that's why. And I tell you, 6 reps on this bar. Go into a gym, try 600 pounds on a normal bar with good knurling. That bar is slippy. It's like holding on to grease. That's why the chalk's so important to get any kind of grip on it. Don't forget, it's 2 inches thick as well. 7 reps. I don't think he'll get any more, and he's really going to have to go for it. He's going to run out of time. He's got it. Jamie Reeves on the right there has given it to him. 8 repetitions for Jaroslav Dymek of Poland. Being cheered on there by Mariusz Pudzianowski. 2 of them training partners and great friends. Jarek Dymek, of course, a PE teacher. He's just giving up that now to go fully professional. And you can see part-time results are got from part-time training, full-time results from full-time training, and it really does make a difference when you see the guys going fully professional. Zydrunas Savickas then of Lithuania. Second in Malaysia at the world's strongest man of 2002. IPF silver medalist, so the deadlifting discipline should be excellent for him, and 7 reps, or rather 8 reps by Dimmick.
Again, 606 pounds.
Should be very possible. It's just the grip he's having problems with. 19 seconds on the clock. 6 reps. I tell you what, he's really got to speed this up. It's just way too slow. 7 reps. 1 more to equal Dimmick. 8 reps. That's great. Surely out of time now. Where did that one come from? He just gets it in on the clock. Electronic timing being used there by Hugo in Sweden, the company that have organized this. It's really a revolutionary step in strongman, but he got it just in time. I tell you what, in a slow-mo there, I bet it would be 0.01 on the second when Jamie Rees raised his flag. Mariusz Pudzianowski of Poland, the dominator. Look at the shape he's in. If this man ever wanted to turn to bodybuilding, the world of bodybuilding better get ready, because he's ripped all the time. Body fat, 5% maximum. Really an incredible shape. He's got veins on veins. Another good pull. Very fast off the ground. Much like Svend, Karlsen, they really attack the deadlift. Very back orientated in their movement, not using their legs very much. Oh, he's starting to struggle at the top of the movement, but he's equaled his compatriot Jarek Dimmick. This to go with Savickas on 9. He's equaled the leader. This for the... Oh, he's lost the grip. Well, I don't see him getting it again now. He's slicking it. What an animal. Attacking it again, but it's all over. Time's up. And 9 reps it is. Joint leader then with Savickas. Brings out Raymond Manis in his holiday shorts once again. I'd love to see Raymond's training bag. Pair of holiday shorts, some flip-flops. Everyone else full of belts, wraps, straps, not Raymond's. He really is an unbelievable character. Just so many years of weightlifting. A lot of that under the old Russian regime. Hundreds of thousands of hours training. That lower back is like a piece of iron. It'll be his legs that give up before his back ever rounds, I can promise you that. First ever time he deadlifted in Mauritius, I remember watching him, he pulled 390 kilos. And he'd never gone heavier than what he'd cleaned. So he claimed anyway. 8 repetitions, 1 rep away then from equaling the leader. Savickas and Pudzianowski, and now Bergmanis all on 9, and he looks good for another at least. Great rep, he doesn't need to do any more. This just to show his dominance in lower back strength. 11 repetitions, Raymond Bergmanis. Awesome stuff. So going in reverse order of the previous event, that brings out Hugo Girard, the last competitor. 60 seconds on the clock for the giant Quebecans. Great relationship between him and Svend Karlsen. Svend calls him the giant donut-eating cob. 2 of these guys have been battling out for years, all over Europe and America.
15 seconds.
Of course, Strongman in the Far East taking off now as well.
20 seconds. Come on, Hugo.
They really are funny. Sometimes I'd like you to see some of the backstage stuff. The banter, the talk between these guys is priceless. Well, Hugo Girard pulling his 6th repetition there. this looks like being the first event he's not going to win. I'm sure he's not going to catch Bergmanis's 11 reps now. Jaroslav Dimick on 8. Sven Karlsen, we didn't see there, 7 reps. Haugen did 6. Anders Johansson 6. Gillingham 5. Martin Muir 4. Melnikov and Vitoschoik on 2. So 8 repetitions then for Hugo Girard. And that puts him equal in 3rd best reps there, but actually 4th equal with Dimick. And 10.5 points for this event. But still, by my calculations, good enough to keep him in the lead. And that brings out the next discipline. In just a moment, it'll be the crucifix hold.
So Bergmanis, you won the Super Series deadlift event here in Hawaii. You said this is your favorite event, yes?
Yeah, and a lot of people told me if I have it, use power suits. I did it a lot of times more, but I have not power suits, and I did it without straps, without belt. I think maybe that is my secret.
Well, if you have any questions about the Strongman, you can write to me, Colin, at super-series.com. All questions taken. On to the crucifix hold then. Some 20 kilos in each hand held out in front of the body here in Oahu, Hawaii. It'll be the 4th discipline in the first Grand Prix of the IFSA Super Series 2003. And Hugo Girard, his lead starting to slip there, just 2 points ahead of Savickas. And look at Pudzianowski, some 10.5 points down, back in 5th. The great Pole, the man who won World's Strongest Man, really not starting the Super Series how he'd like to. Well, this is a piece of ingenious engineering. There are photocell lights that are 2 inches above and below the forearms of the athlete. So the old days of athletes cheating, going up and down, isn't going to happen again. You've got to hold these up, and an imaginary beam of light above and below your forearms. If they drop for 2 seconds above or 2 seconds too low, then the bell goes off, and that's you. Your time's up, automatically stopped.
7 seconds is the time to beat.
Now, anything near a minute would be outrageous. To be honest, this is so heavy, up at 20 kilos per hand, some 45 pounds in each hand. It's going to be almost impossible to get near that kind of time. Look at Hugo Girard. This is mind over matter stuff. The willpower involved in this. No, that's it. The computer kicks in and Hugo Girard's time gets stopped. He looks to the referee going, hey, what? I haven't lowered it. But yes, you have, Hugo. There's no way you can argue with the photocell timing, and that's the genius of this. It really has revamped this old event. And Jaroslav Dimick, a little bit of what's known in England as taking the piss, a little bit of cheeky joking. Well, cheeky joking it may be, but he's about to do this event as well. Now, Dimick is a strange character, it's got to be said. There's definitely a small streak of insanity in this man. He just loves pain. Very bizarre. Sometimes he gets into events, and the more he does it, the more you see him smiling and enjoying it. It's an incredible mentality. So he's chasing down the time of Hugo Girard. Girard's 44.16. Look at this, here we go. Here comes the lactic acid. I think it's almost like a high to this man. As the endorphins kick in, it's his only way with dealing with the pain. Well, he's gone ahead of Girard, that's for sure. The 44-second barrier broken easily there. Well, no, too high. He raised it up. You see the little red arrow going there. Great stuff there, though, from the mighty Poland.
Jarek Dimick, you are now the new leader, 54 seconds.
Yes, I think that this is good events for me. We was yesterday, this was semi like this, I have the good time.
You're very strong in your shoulders. Is this shoulder strength?
I think so,
How much was willpower? Because you were screaming in the end. Does it help to?
Yes, that helped me because this is the second power from my brain, my head.
Polish power, yes?
Polish power, yeah!
Good.
Well, Polish power actually in Polish has a slightly different meaning. I'll let you go on the internet and try and find it. Polska górą is what you should say. The English version, slightly rude, shall I say. Mariusz Pudzianowski then. Pole number 2. 2 Poles in the top 5 in the world. Both young men. Pudzianowski, only 26 years old. Dymek, 29. And in strongman terms, 29, still very young. I can hear you at home going, Mariusz Pudzianowski, only 26? Not yet sponsored by Oil of Ulay, Mariusz. This is something else, however. He really is absolutely dominant at these kind of pain events. No one zones out like Mariusz. Conan's wheel, crucifix, he's outstanding, his fitness and his muscles. Can he beat the minute? No, he hasn't. 59.96. So the closest man yet. Zydrunas Savickas. Biomechanically speaking, let's get technical for a second. His arms are long. He's a tall man, 6'3", 192. He has long arms. This, biomechanically, not easy for him. The weight's so much further away from his body than a man like Dymek, who's shorter armed. It's not going to make Savickas' job any easier. The shakes have started. And he's still 30 seconds behind Pudzianowski.
35.
Well, if he can try and beat the likes of Girard, it'll gain him vital points. 44.16 seconds, Girard's time. He's just gone ahead of that. I don't think he's got much longer. 46.21 for the giant Lithuanian. And Pudzianowski's time starting to look fairly outstanding. And out with the last athlete then. The man who won the previous event, Raymond Bergmanis. Now Raymond, believe it or not, when he first came over from weightlifting, had almost no real upper body strength, certainly in terms of world-class strongman. If you're talking about being in the gym, Raymond could bench press something like 160 kilos. It's all he could do when he competed at World's Strongest Man the first time. Since then, he's built his shoulders, his triceps up, and that'll help for this crucifix. But it's not so much about strength, it's just sheer mental willpower. Who can take the pain? And oh, that's unlucky. He raised that left arm a little too high. 43.13, so it's behind Girard. And that's kept Girard closer to the lead, but Pudzianowski got some vital points there. A maximum of 14, and Girard only getting 8. Now remember, there was some 10 points between them, and Pudzianowski will be pulling himself right back up the leaderboard there. Yep, Girard managing to stay equal with Savickas in first, but Pudzianowski, he's hunting him down. On then to the Conan's wheel, or here in Oahu, Hawaii, at the Super Series, this discipline called the Oahu Hotels Lava Rock Circle. I think that's a spelling mistake on my sheet. I think it's in fact the Oahu Hotels Lava Rock Circle. 320 kilos either way, doesn't matter how it's spelled, it's darn heavy. 320 kg, round about 710 pounds, 720, something like that. Well, you can see it slipping out of his arms. He just lost the grip. And his distance, 177. Up comes Hugo Girard. An event traditionally very bad for men with big chests. Big chest, he has got something like 64 inches round. And it just crushes the air out of the really big man. And look at this, he can barely make a half turn. In fact, he hasn't. Hugo Girard has not even made one half a turn. That is so disappointing. That's measured at 39. Measuring this, of course, in feet. So Bergmanis, his stroll of 177 feet, a whole lot further than to the bar. Another big man, possibly a chest to match Hugo Girard's. Certainly in excess of 60 inches. This, the giant Lithuanian, Zydrunas Savickas, and look at him already, he's struggling. Look how far it is away from his body. His chest is so big, the weight's right out there. And he just goes ahead of Girard. His measurement then, 48. That's 48 feet, so a little bit further, some 7 ahead of Girard, but not very much at all. Looking forward to seeing Mariusz Pudzianowski do this now. He's done 4 revolutions of 320 kilos. That's right, he's the world record holder. Nobody in the world comes even close to him. Jaroslav Dimick then, the mighty Pole, the number 2 in Europe. Twice he's been vice champion, as they call it in Europe. In other words, runner-up at Europe's Strongest Man. So hard to tell. These guys keep jostling in their order. Svend, Karlsen, sometimes the best in the world. Pudzianowski, they're all so close to the top, and that's what makes this Super Series concept so exciting. See these guys competing over 5 or 6 events throughout the year, and it's really going to be a battle of consistency, this Super Series 2003. Well, that's given him a distance and put him into the lead, 120. I tell a fib. We're not going to see 2 athletes that went earlier. So leader at the moment, Carl Gillingham, the big American. The man you can go along and see on www.jackalsgym.com. He did 159, so he's in the lead. I'm telling you now, that's going to go. No offense against Carl. This guy, Mariusz Pudzianowski's almost unbeatable at this event. Look at those huge biceps. Such a slim stomach as well. He can rest his arms on his hips. Runs it round, stops it there. You know he could have done further. Look at the smile, barely out of breath. 204 feet for him. Well in excess of Gillingham's 159. And that gives him the lead and the win in this event. Mariusz Bergmanis, of course, did 177, so he got second. And Carl Gillingham got third. That brings Carl right up the leaderboard as well. Carl now in 5th, the top American, but Pudzianowski on 56 in the lead.
Mariusz Pudzianowski, it seems like you're after the victory. Now it's the 2nd event in a row that you win, the Conan Circle. How strong are you?
Conan Circle is my good events. The first place is, I'm happy.
You started a little slow here in Hawaii in the first Super Series 2003, but now you're speeding up. There's 1 event left and you have a chance to win. You are really going for winning now?
Finish competition, looking points, yeah, maybe.
Well, if you're enjoying this, go check out the website www.super-series.com for all of the photos and all of the results. Down to the final discipline here at Oahu, Hawaii for the first Grand Prix in the IFSA Super Series World Championship of 2003. And guess what? The news is Hugo Girard is being beaten by Mariusz Pudzianowski. Looks like it could be the Pole's day.
Raymond Bergmanis, Latvia. You are in the 2nd place before the last event of the Super Series Grand Prix from Hawaii. Who do you think will win now?
I think we'll win Mariusz Pudzianowski. He is the current world's strongest man. But other guys a good chance too. And this competition is very, very tight, and 4 guys is very close. But this is very hard last event. It's a very strong and very heavy event, and need a good, need the powers, need the endurance, need the speed. All is needed in this event.
Good event for you, the last event, the medley?
I have a power, I have a speed, but it's not sure for endurance.
Mariusz Pudzianowski, you are in the lead now, and now it's the last event of the Super Series Grand Prix Hawaii. I was talking to Raymond Bergmanis, he was guessing that you were going to win. Who do you think will win the Super Series Grand Prix here?
Maybe Hugo, maybe Zydrunas, Savickas, maybe I don't know.
Hugo, Girard, Canada, you started very strong. Now in front of the last event, you're on 4th place. There is 4 of you that can win this Super Series Grand Prix Hawaii. How do you feel now when the last event is there? Who's going to win?
You know, that's a good question. You know, I think Mariusz got a very good chance to win that event now because he's got a 4-point lead, and that event particularly is very good for him. So, but you know what? Anything can happen. So I'm going there, and I'm going to give 110%, and it's not over until the fat lady sings. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's not over till she sings, but I'm telling you what, she's striking up a few chords, because for Hugo Girard, the writing's on the wall here. Pudzianowski has been so fantastic in his comeback after the first 2 events that Girard won. Those 2 disciplines, of course, were Apollon's axle overhead and then the super yoke. Now to the medley. The fire hydrant weighing 120 kilos. That's about 265 pounds in old money. You've got to run that to the end of this 20-meter course, run back, pick up the duck walk, weighing in at 250 kilos. That's 550 pounds. Stick it on top of the sledge and drag it 10 meters to the end of the line. Now, this is easy for these guys. Virashchuk, look at him. 265 pounds like nothing. This man has shot put over 20 meters. He's got an indoor bronze medal in shot putting at European level. So you can imagine the kind of power he's got in his legs. Now Gillingham, well, he seemed to be behind, but he's caught up. That duck walk so fast. And this guy, whose father was a Green Bay Packer, his brother a powerlifter, and he too rising to the top in his sport. It'd be nice to see him finish this as the top American and manage to consolidate a place in the top 5 in the world. Gillingham has had some injury problems. But look at this, he's going ahead of Virashchuk, and in body weight you'd think Virashchuk, who's definitely the heavier man, would be winning here, but perhaps it's choice of footwear. Virashchuk not getting a hold of this sledge at all. 75 seconds is the time limit. And Carl Gillingham, the lactic acid burning in his legs. I think he's going to run out of time. Yes, he has. It's going to be a measurement then for both of these gentlemen. Virashchuk literally down on his knees. Well, the measurement for Virashchuk, 56 feet 7 inches. Sounds like a bad shot put for him. And looking at the distance of Carl Gillingham, well, a little bit better, 65 feet 3 inches, but still, for both of these gentlemen, it hasn't been a great final event. Zydrunas, Savickas on the right. Hugo Girard on the left. And look at Girard, he wants this final event. He's not giving this up easily. Pudzianowski, you're going to have to fight for this. You too, Savickas. He wants those vital points at the end of this first Grand Prix, because remember, we'll be carrying them on to Holland, then on to Canada, then to Finland, then to America. And I tell you what, there's a lovely pot of prize money at the end of this Super Series. And of course, the great title of world champion he wants to retain. Well, what's he doing? He's listening far too much to Mariusz Pudzianowski and not enough getting on and doing some dragging. And Savickas, look at him, it's like a tortoise and a hare situation. Savickas, much slower, has managed to catch him. He's got the football boots on, the rugby boots. He's really digging in hard. And Savickas could be our first man to complete this. 15 seconds on the clock then, and Savickas surely now another couple of strides and he can follow it over the line. Yes, he's going to do that. He's done it, 1 minute 8.64, but Hugo Girard He was so close at the end there. If he hadn't messed around with the rope, surely he would have won that. And for Girard, I think it's one error that is going to cost this Grand Prix. There's no way now he's going to be in the top 2 or 3. That's really hurt his chances of winning. But he's smiling. Good for him. Still enjoying the day. Hey, why not? He's the reigning world champion.
Savickas with 1.08.64 seconds.
And with those two guys down, that'll bring out our next pairing. And that's Raymond Bergmanis and Mariusz Pudzianowski. This is real pressure stuff. Bergmanis and Pudzianowski so close on points. Bergmanis needs to win this event. He needs Pudzianowski to finish in 5th. If that happens, then Bergmanis wins the overall Grand Prix. But at the moment, it looks like Pudzianowski's going to win this final event. And if Pudzianowski does that, then he's guaranteed himself this Grand Prix title in Hawaii. Bergmanis looking a little cumbersome at the moment. Pudzianowski getting into a good position. Remember, the world's strongest man in Malaysia, first event in the final, and Pudzianowski absolutely destroyed everyone in the carry and drag there. Well, am I imagining things, or is Bergmanis starting to catch Pudzianowski? Pudzianowski, it looks like it's just starting to weigh more and more. He's only a few meters from the line now. Surely he's going to win this event as well. This final discipline should be his. No, he hasn't. Bergmanis has done it. Pudzianowski's got to get this across the line. Well, I don't know who's beaten Pudzianowski, but certainly Bergmanis has. Johansson's time of 1 minute. Well, by my understanding, that puts Pudzianowski 3rd behind Johansson and Bergmanis, and he's won the Grand Prix. Bergmanis 2nd.
Congratulations, Mariusz Pudzianowski. You came to Hawaii and you became the first Super Series Grand Prix champion of the year 2003. How is that?
Today I first. Next competition maybe next competitor. Today no finish Super Series.
You will be in very good shape for 2003.
I very good training. Of course, maybe first place next competition.
You are a very professional athlete. It's been great to see you here competing, and congratulations to your victory.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think we need a maths teacher to figure this one out, but the graphics board has done it for us. Raymond Bergmanis there, the only man to break a minute in the medley. That 14 points wasn't quite enough. As I said, Pudzianowski had to finish in 5th. Bergmanis win the final discipline. That would have given Bergmanis the overall points result he needed. But look at this, by 1.5 points, Pudzianowski is the Super Series Grand Prix winner in Hawaii. He takes the maximum 10 points forward to Holland. Zavolta in Holland. That competition takes place in June. And all of these guys, certainly the top 6 will be there. That's the whole idea of the Super Series. You take 6 guys in the lead, you move them forward to the next event, and wildcard athletes get to compete against them. Well, 2nd place then went to Bergmanis. The bronze medal to Zydrunas, Savickas, the big Lithuanian. Hugo Girard down in 4th. Let's face it, a bad result for the world champion to start this new season on. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the first event. Join me, Colin Bryce, in Holland in June. But if you want to write to me before then, it's colin@super-series.com, or just get any information you want off www.super-series.com. Till then, goodbye.